Well, you're not missing anything on Channel 3 either. Apparently it's not working there, so
Well, it's a good thing I came,
it is a good thing you came.
but probably no one else would know, but I'll know.
That's right. Well, we could call it Dialogue with Brian and Jan. This is the Timbercrest chat for Friday, October 1st. And unfortunately, we are having trouble with Channel 3, so I'm going to just cover a few basic things. First, I wanted to let you know that Stan is not available today. He is on vacation, and when we set this up for him to have the first Friday of the month, I'm assuming since it's the first, he probably didn't associate that with his vacation time, and so he's out enjoying a beautiful day like it is today outdoors somewhere. I don't remember where he is, but I hope he's getting the good rest and refreshment that he needs. Today's Timbercrest chat, because Stan's not here, won't be as thorough of an update as what you might expect, but I will give you an update on a few things. First is flu shots, and flu shots are available, and there's a handout if you're interested in a flu shot. There's an informational handout about the flu shots. The way it will work is that we're only allocated so much of the serum for flu shots, and so people who live in healthcare in Crestwood and in the Manor kind of get the first dibs on those, and then employees get second dibs, if I can put it that way, on them. And then when we know how much we have left over, then we'll create a waiting list for people who live in neighborhood homes, and we'll set up a clinic and a time for people in neighborhood homes to come over for a flu shot as well. That's as we've learned through the pandemic, some of the more important clinical types of things affect people in the Manor more, I don't want to say urgently, but a little bit more pressingly than outside. So that's kind of the way we've always done it with the flu shots. So that's the way it is this year as well. We should know by the end of today or early tomorrow how many doses we have left in order to share with everybody else. And again, watch Channel 2 or listen to a one-call announcement when that clinic for neighborhood homes may be. Speaking of that and the neighborhood homes and changing regulations and everything like that, it seemed like on Monday we were back to the old grindstone. Things were shut down and everybody was pretty grim, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Wednesday we got a notice of a regulatory change and we're open back up again. So that's a good thing. The regulations of the opening up is limited, and that's back to not a fully open community, but we are open to the place where visitors are allowed to have indoor visits with family members in the Manor. Volunteers, neighborhood homes and chapel and other drivers and other volunteers are able to come in to the Manor. However, and this is, no one thinks it's fair, so I don't want you to think that I think this is fair, but neighborhood homes residents are considered part of the general public. So we're still not allowed to have group things that involve, quote, the general public. So unfortunately for exercise classes and Tai Chi and art class and those sorts of things, we still aren't able to have a mixed group of people from neighborhood homes and Manor residents. So hopefully we're getting there, but that's not what the newest opening up means. The newest opening up is a good thing. Manor residents can come and go as they please. They can drive, they can shop, they can do what they want that way. And again, you're advised to follow some parameters even when you're out, wearing a mask if you go to the store, especially if you don't know the people you're around at a store, for example, maintaining a sense of social distance. if you happen to be at a friend's house or somebody in your family's house, and you know that everybody there has been vaccinated, and that you don't have to be as concerned about the 6-foot distancing, but if you're in a mixed group, you may not want to take your mask off, or you may want to consider whether or not that's an event or a group that you ought to be involved with. But all that being said, the fact of the matter is that we have been able to loosen up yesterday and today, and that is a really good thing. Another thing related to COVID and testing, just so that you're aware, is we still don't have an official word on what's being called a booster shot. Now, the Timbercrest chat a few weeks ago, Stan clarified that, and I think it's important for us, even though that's the common terminology that it's a booster shot, it's not really a booster shot. What the scientists are finding is that the virus may need a third jab, I guess is the popular term, a third jab of vaccination. That's not necessarily a booster, but it's a third part of a sequence to prevent COVID-19 and its mutations. So, but we don't have yet any official word about whether or not we can distribute that, or whether or not there is a booster available for people who had Pfizer. Everyone who was vaccinated through the clinics that we had here got the vaccination from Moderna. So if you're a resident or an employee, it's very likely that if your vaccination happened here, that was a Moderna shot, and there isn't a third shot yet. It's coming, I'm fairly certain, but there isn't a third shot yet for us. But we'll let everybody know that as soon as possible. But again, we just don't have that information yet. As far as other things going on in the manor, we are seeing some progress on the work on A Street. It's begun. The outside work on the patio of the snack shop has begun. It's stopped already for a couple of different reasons. We also are expecting work to begin to move the neighborhood market from its current location to the west side of the Rose Garden dining room. That move depends on when we can have the carpets cleaned in there, and it looks like that carpet cleaning is going to happen on Monday. We had hoped that it would happen today, but that carpet cleaning is probably going to happen Monday, October the 4th, and once that's done, we can move everything from the neighborhood market to the west side of the Rose Garden dining room, and the market will then reopen probably on Wednesday with everything that we're used to having in there. Also, in campus mail, probably tomorrow morning, you'll get a ballot. We didn't get it in time. There were a couple snafus with transportation, and I'll get to that in a moment. But we had a plan to put a ballot in the Timberline for naming a new room. It's not a new room, it's the former employee break room, but that room is going to become a recreation room, a meeting room, a smaller place for gatherings on A Street. And we'd like to name that room something creative, not just the former employee break room. That kind of sounds drab and dismal, but several people have given me suggestions. Those suggestions will be on the ballot, but we want to encourage you also to come up with a name that means something to you, something that will speak maybe to the spirit of Timbercrest. There will also be a place on that same ballot for voting on a new name for the snack shop. The snack shop has lots of possibilities, and again, we're looking for something that kind of speaks to the spirit of Timbercrest and the campus here, so you'll have an opportunity to make those votes also. For neighborhood homes residents, those ballots will be delivered the next time there's an Every House delivery. So you won't get it in the campus mail tomorrow. Neighborhood homes residents will probably get it Tuesday or Friday of next week, the next time there's an all-campus mailing for that. I wanted to mention about transportation and about driving, and you're welcome to drive now, pretty much any place you'd like to go. But we still have concern about medical transportation, and then that has to do with where is our transportation coordinator and where is Kelly. And if there's a rumor to be heard about what's going on with Kelly, I've heard it. There are lots of rumors out there. Kelly, just to be very basic, Kelly is on a family and medical leave to help take care of her grandmother, who we all know is Peggy Workman. I really can't go into any more details than that. Kelly has filled out paperwork and those sorts of things and for that, and it's a permissible leave. To anybody's knowledge, Kelly has not quit, and she has said she hasn't quit. She did take her things out of her office, and we're not exactly sure why that is, but the anticipation is that she will come back. The end of her family and medical leave will be November 29th or earlier, if Peggy's goal is to be able to come back to Timbercrest. So if Peggy's able to do that sooner than November 29th, the likelihood is that Kelly will be back sooner than November 29th. But we don't have anything for sure, but Kelly has not quit. We're anticipating her coming back and being a full member of the Timbercrest staff again, and we look forward to that. I look forward to it. I think everybody is looking forward to that. If you have needs for transportation, medical transportation, please contact me so we can get your appointment on the calendar. As I said, you are able to drive yourself if you're driving, so feel free to make your own plans in that regard, but it's always good to let us know, because these shutdowns happen, as we found out, they happen at a moment's notice, and then they open up again at a moment's notice. So if you could let me know if you've made plans, you've scheduled a doctor's appointment, you plan to drive yourself, and you live in the manor, please just give me a call and say, hey, next Wednesday at 10 o'clock I have an appointment and I'm driving myself. But I can get that on the calendar, so if Tuesday we have a shutdown, we've got that on the calendar and I can know to try to find a driver for you. But if you're going to drive yourself, I'll just make that note and we'll be good with that. My office phone number is 982-3, and that's the number you should call with transportation concerns, 982-3940. Now, again, it's important to call that number, my office number. A number of people have Kelly McCombs' direct number, and I should tell you that Kelly's been very good about forwarding messages to me so that I can get things taken care of here at Timbercrest. But in general, it would be better not to be calling her, but directly call me if you have transportation needs. That's it. And like I said, it seems like the transportation situation could go through the month of November, but we're all hoping that Peggy gets better soon and is able to come home, and then Kelly, Kelly will be able to come back to work. As far as what else is new, everybody got a Timberline this week, a new Timberline, and you notice that it's on kind of a different kind of a paper, and we're following a different kind of process with the Timberline. The Timberline we're working on a schedule that's a little bit further ahead, so that some deadlines have been moved up because the printing is being sent out to a company in Bourbon, and so we have to give at least 5 business days before we expect to distribute it. We have to get the Timberline to the printer, then they print it and fold it, and then it comes back to us and we stuff it, and then we put it in mailboxes. So it's a little bit another step in the process. It's an effort to save some money, so hopefully that we'll realize that in the long run. But because of that, the Timberline deadlines in that, a couple of things were missed in the last Timberline because we just didn't have the information until within that time that it had already been sent off to the printer. So please remember that if you want something in the November Timberline, we'd like to have it a week from this Monday. That would be October 11. And then that'll be sent to, excuse me, it'll be sent to the printer then on October the 23rd, no, the 22nd, if that's the Friday. It'll be sent to the printer on October 22nd and then delivered the following Friday. So if you have something, please get it to me for the Timberline by October 11. We're interested in any kind of feedback that you have or anybody has with some of the changes that are going on. Another not a last minute change, but a change that will happen when we get the market moved and all that is that the recyclable items will be transferred over to the former employee break room. Right now, they're locked in what's now the snack shop, and this is for recyclable items like pill bottles and other kinds of plastics and some odds and ends types of things that don't generally go in other kinds of the recycling. Eventually, we hope to have a nicer cabinet built inside the former employee break room that will house the recycling, so that former employee break room will become something of like the snack shop has been, a little bit of a gathering area. We hope to have some nicer chairs in there, a nicer television, some shelving with some games and some things like that. So when there aren't group activities going on in there, it'd be a place for you to go in and maybe if you've got family or friends in there, you can go in there and sit on the furniture and play some games and visit and have a nice time that way. So. But that's where the recycling eventually will end up in that former employee break room, if or when we can get that done. I don't really have any other things to update anybody about. Jan, do you have any questions or anything, any concerns? My phone just vibrated. I thought maybe we've got a question from somebody. Nope, no questions. So, that's really about it. I hope, I should mention this, it has to do with indoor pumpkins and other kinds of fall decorations. Just a reminder that if you're going to have pumpkins, especially in the manor generally is warmer than many people keep their homes because many people like it a little bit warmer. So we ask if you do have pumpkins or gourds or other things that are decorative, that you keep an eye on those for spoilage. And in the warmth of the manor, it doesn't take long sometimes. That once there's a hole in some piece of fruit like that, it doesn't take long then for it to just melt away. And so we also, because of that, we do permit painted pumpkins. So if you want to have a jack-o'-lantern with a painted face, feel free to do that. But if your jack-o'-lantern, if you feel like you have to have a carved out jack-o'-lantern, hollowed out and everything else, we ask that you take that and keep it outside. Find a place where you can look at it outside your window, not in the manor, because those things melt away right away. They shrink up and shrivel inside, and it's not really the housekeeper's job to try to keep up after all the spoiled jack-o'-lanterns that can be. It also is a good reminder that we don't allow candles inside the manor either. So if you have a jack-o'-lantern, don't put a candle in it. The best thing to do would be to find a nice ceramic jack-o'-lantern or something like that that has a nice electric light. You can plug it in and turn it on that way and enjoy some kind of an October decoration that way. So, and I'm rambling now. Can you tell? I'm rambling now. I think that'll do it. And if you have any questions or any concerns like that about anything at all, please give me a call, 982-3940, or you can call Stan. It's 982-3922. Sabina, who has been in Germany for 2 weeks visiting her family, will be back on Tuesday and address your concerns to her. There's a lot of ways that we can get information to you. Just give us a ring. Thank you for watching. Bye.